Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be moving further by learning more and more methods available in array. So in today's class, we'll be learning about map, flitter, concatenation, the spread operator, join, sort, and reverse. So let's start with the first one, map operation, map method. So the array has a method called map. So what does map actually does? Map creates a new array with modify value, with modify values, right? So let me remove this. I think this is not necessary here. So let's see how it goes in practice. I'll create a variable within, let me just call it num to stand for number. Then provide 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So for the map map method actually iterates over all these values here, and it will transform it and modify it. So let's see how it works. So remember, how do we access it? We first call the map, then the dots to get all the method available. This is another short form, all the method that are available on it. You can see we can just from this I will just look for the map, press map. You can see since it's a method, it must be called. So this is how we call it. It is a callback method. And remember, I said we have different type of function, but for this video, this is just introductory video. We'll still proceed further and learn more concerning how we write our function and everything. So we use n. N is like a parameter to signify each of the elements. So when it's loop through, sorry, I'm using the term loop through. So when it moves around, when the computer check through all the values that is inside, it will it will be looking at it. It will be making transforming the value that will appear. So this is just a method that we are calling. Is or we will call it method. Let's call it a function, a callback function that we are calling. So what are we trying to say now? We said in every item, this thing stands for each item in this array, right? Multiply it by 3. So every item in this array will be multiplied by 3. So let's see the result. Let us see the result. Console.log.map. Let me drag my terminal here and I will clear my screen. Cleared my screen. So let me run it again. Good. So we can let's see what is going on here. Is why is it returning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So we did this. This is the map. This is the map. We said when n, yes, n times 3, n times 3. I want to see something else here. Let's number because this. So I think I've declared this number before. Let me just use number 1. Number 1. Good. Good. You can see it's the changes have been made already. So I've assigned it to this. So what happened here was that after we this is the value of n, right? N contained 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Then I created another variable to store the outcome of this, and it will be saved in num1, right? Number one, right? So you can see the result now. The result is 3 3 times this. There's the same thing with this. Then 3 times 5 equals to 15. So everything was transformed. It creates another new array. This is a new array with this value. So we can see the transformation that occurs. So let's go to the next one called flitter. So flitter is different in the sense that it returns a specific item that meets the condition. Right? So we can filter through a document. For example, let's make use of this num now. So let's keep the results. Let's call results one. I don't know if I've used this variable before. So remember our camel casing. So we use num1 dot filter. So we say n. We can call it any. I just use n. So where n is there's a operator called modulus. So modulus will return the remainder, right? The remainder once you divide remainder of, let me say, 2, any number that is here. So if okay, see the number now. So if 3 divided by 1, 3 divided by 1 will give you a remainder of 1. So what it will return will be 1. So 2 5 divided by how many times will 5 goes? Sorry, 2 will go in 5. It will go seven, what are they calling it? It goes 7 times, right? And after 7 times, because it will remain 1 which cannot go, so it will always return that 1. So it's different from division. So in programming we'll be learning it, we'll be able to use it to even along the course we'll do some what they called um Biz Boss, right? We will do some calculation called Biz Box. Is a game in, I think, in London. So we'll play the game. We'll do calculation on it, and we'll get to that. So just bear in mind that this is a model. This modulus, it will always return the remainder of anything. So what will remain, it will return it here. So I'm going to create a condition that I want it to only return those ones that have the remainder of 1. Right? What can have a remainder of 1? I remember in mathematics we have prime number, we have even number, we have odd number. So this is a good example to, if you can think of it, like you can say that most of all those calculations that we learnt in schools are actually programming language. And remind you, remember, computer just understand two. They only understand binary 0 and 1. So everything, all these things will still be compiled back into the machine language that the computer will finally understand, right? So this one is just relatable to us. We're using um, JavaScript. We can really understand what is going on, but the computer will convert everything back to zeros and ones. So for this now, you could see that we are actually learning. It's just like revisiting what you've learned in secondary school or primary school. So let's see the outcome of the result console dot log. Then results, let's call it results one. So let's see what it's going to bring out. So it's going to bring out from this list here any one that will give us a remainder of 1. So which one will give us a remainder of 1? I think 3, number 1, 9, number 2, and 15. So the result is meant to be 3, 6, 15. 3, sorry, 3, 9, 15. So let's see it in practice. I'll do my control. What am I getting? What am I getting? Results here. I I said this, so it's giving me this, right? So let's see what is going on in our code. This was the first one. Let us remove this. It's telling me that n is empty, right? So why is it empty? Is there any mistake in our code? Is there any mistake in our code? I'm coming. Let me use 0. Run my code again. Why is it giving me this figure? What is going on? I think I need to comment some things out. Okay, I think that's the previous thing we did here. Okay, when we said number is so 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 and so this. So let me just comment all these things out. We are not using them. Hope this thing will not crash my code somewhere along the line. Oh, it did. There is something. So let's just remember we did what we call the. So I want to actually comment all these things out. I'm using the multiple line comment. So what I don't need, I started this one at, yeah, so I'll just put it here. This is the multiple line. What's going on? What is going on? There's something fishy somewhere. Let me run the code again. So from here I can even get what the issue is. It said number is not defined. So where is it? Where is the number that we are trying to access that we've commented out? I know I've commented the number out, but maybe I tried to console.log something. This is number one. This is what I did. So the other one is where did I access number from? Okay, let me look for the line. It's telling me line 17, right? I'll be 97, 97, 91, 91. Okay, so number is not. Oh, num. Good. So number one, yeah. You see the mistake we made. It's meant to be one. Is one, not this. So let me clear my screen. So one thing in program is that you definitely there may be errors or bug in your code. So you just have to use this thing to trace everything out. So I think all will work now perfectly well. So you can see my answer now is back. So I said no one. Let me place one now. So it will filter through the document, right? You know we've already made iteration here, so we multiply everything by 3. So the outcome was meant to be something like this. Let me comment this out. Something of this nature. 3, right? Then 6, then 9. 3 times 3 is 9. Then 12. then 15. So this is what you are meant to have. And I said over here, iterate over this document and return where n modulus 12 equals 1. That means that when it gives me a remainder of 1, so where will it give me a remainder of 1? It will be in this. The answer will be this, will be 3, will be this 9 over here, this 9, it will be 3, it will be 15, it will also be 9, right? 9 is also included, it will be 9. This will be the 3 answer. So let's try it out. So you can see 3. So you can see what it brought us. So it's filter allows to filter the document and pick out a specific value or items that meet the necessary criteria. So that is all about filter. So concatenation, that has to do with merging. It's almost still similar to the spread operator. So how does this thing work in practice? So let me declare another number, create another variable. Let's number of user equals, in fact number of users too long. Let me just use a is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that is fine. Then let's b is equals to, I think, let me zoom this thing a little bit so that it looks more brighter. So let me clear my screen over here. So let b equals to, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then concatenate to join all both of them together is similar to spread operator. So how are we going to do it? Let's do console.log. Then the first value is a dot the method, open it, then the other value b. So this is actually bring both of them together. So let's try it out. You can see it over there. Let me drag my screen up and reduce it a little bit. So you can see it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it brings them together. So it's no longer separated. So everything has been joined together. In case if you had like two arrays, now you want to merge them together, you can use this method. So the next one is spread operator. Is similar to it. So for the spread operator, you will discover it has three dots. So how do we do the spread operator? Let's just make use of this example. Also, we just use console.log because most times you'll be making use of the spread operator. Console.log. Then what is the value you are looking for? Let's just the array, right? Since the array, you put the dot, then a, then comma, then 3 dots, 1, 2, 3, then b. You will still produce the same thing as this. So let me comment this one out, right? So drag my screen upward so you will see the results. So I've dragged my screen upward. I can as well clear my screen. I've cleared my screen using the clear command. Clear. I've cleared my screen. Then I'll run the code again. You can see the same similar thing occurred 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. You can decide to choose any of them, but for me I think the spread operator is good. So another method that is available for array is join. And what does join do? It convert array into strings. So for example, const no let me use okay const fruits equals banana banana. Another fruit is mango. Another one is orange. Orange. Good. We've done this. So I want to convert them to to a string back. This thing is actually an array. It's an array. If you use the type of operator, let's see the type of let's use console. It will tell you an array is still similar to an object, right? So type of operator console dot. I told you about this method in one of my class before. Type of fruits. Let's see. I think it will bring out. Let's just see what it's going to bring out. It's telling us that it's an object because array is also a form of object. Anyway, so we want to just turn it into a string. So how are we going to turn this into a string? What method are we going to use to turn it into a string? The method we will use is join. So we'll call the fruit, the variable name or the identifier, we'll call the fruit, then we'll add this join to it. So how do you want to separate them? Is if we want to just separate them by comma, we just do this and we separate them like this. The reason why we created space here so that they won't be together. If not, they will be clustered together. So now we can as well do the console.log, console.log, right? Then the fruits. Let me just save it as inside another variable and const. So I'm using const for the first time. Fruits A. Most I've been using variable because was making some changes inside there. So if I'm using const, I'm not actually manipulating the data like that, like changing mango to orange and changing banana to pear and all those things. So I can just as well as put fruit A and let us see what the outcome will be. Something broke within our code, and what is that broke? Let me see the error. Console. You can see this is the wrong spelling. It's not M, it's N. So thank you for the terminal. The saw my mistake. You can see now is banana, and the way I did the comma is I meant to put it here. So put it here and remove this. I think this is better. Let's run it again. So now this is now a string. You can see you can decide to just let me put a space so that they won't be together. Run it again. You can see that we've converted it back to a string. So it's now like a string that is containing this value. So it's like a string now. So it's just containing this value, and you cannot really manipulate that. Oh, I want to pick just this one out because we've converted it back to a string. So let's talk about sort. So what is sort? For example, so sort is arrangement, like maybe alphabetical order. When you want to arrange things alphabetical order, let's use this command for fruits. right? Let's arrange it alphabetical order. Let's look at it again. B, okay, it's even arranged alphabetical order. So can we add more? Okay, let's use another. Let us make use of another. Let's say let's name is equals to let names is equals to this. Let name equals to Daniel, David. No, let me use Amos. Let me use another name. There's a name like BC. BC. There's a name like uh, Nike. There's a name like James. So let's arrange it alphabetical order. So we can use the sort method for that. So how are we going to call the sort? Remember the name of the variable first, then we use the dot notation and what sort. Call the sort on it. Then can we let's console it console.log console.log console.log. I want to remove this. I don't want this fruit. So let us log it again and see the outcome. You can the outcome is still this. So it is actually character sensitive. So you can see what occurred here. Some letters I intentionally placed them in small letter, while some I placed them in capital letter. That is what I've been illustrating, that JavaScript is actually case sensitive. A capital letter A is different from capital letter B. So let me make a proper adjustment to this. Let me just put everything in small letter. Nike, let me also Nike, let me put Nike in small letter, and let us run our code again. Let's see how it's going to be. So you can see that it follows alphabetical order. So this is what I'm trying to, and the reverse will be the opposite. So as easy as that. So I'll just copy this again and just type it here, paste it here. Then what am I going to do? I will call the sort, remove the sort and put the reverse, and do the same thing in my console. You can see it's taking the opposite direction. So that will be all concerning array. We still have some method. You necessarily don't need to know everything. There are resources online where you can get your information from. We have W3 School. We have Mozilla Developer. You can check online. Different resources are available to help you. So I just want to tell you congratulations on making it this far. We are actually starting. You can see how we manipulated using the various methods that are available on array. Very interesting. So that will be all for this class. I endeavor you to make more research on reduce and for each. Is actually we'll still discuss about it. In fact, no assignment. We are working on it together. In our next, in some couple of video, we'll work on them and we will do them together. So that will be all. Thank you. Please, if you are new to this channel, endeavor to subscribe.